1970s stood out as a decade of bold experimentation in rock music.
Tonight, I wanna give it all to you.
Where bands often blurred the lines between performance art and concert. Yet many of their most eccentric moments on television and stage have slipped from collective memory. This countdown revisits 10 of the weirdest 1970s bands whose unique stories deserve another look. Hit that subscribe button before we dive in. Number 10. The Residents.
They played a tenor saxophone. Little Joe's playing on slide trombone.
In the early 1970s, an anonymous art collective relocated from San Mateo to San Francisco and began releasing avant-garde recordings while concealing their identities behind elaborate costumes. Their 1974 debut album Meet the Residents featured a cover that directly parodied the Beatles' Meet the Beatles, sparking widespread rumors that the group was actually the Fab Four recording under a secret identity. The rumors circulated for years and were never officially confirmed or denied, which only deepened the mystery surrounding the group. The band went on to release dozens of albums across their career, all while maintaining complete anonymity through their signature eyeball masks and top hats. Their influence extended to later artists including Primus and members of Devo and Talking Heads, who drew inspiration from their relentlessly boundary-pushing approach. Number 9. Captain Beefheart and his Magic Band. Captain Beefheart constructed elaborate myths about his own life while exercising total and often brutal control over his musicians. Band members reported being confined to the house for weeks, forced to survive on roughly a cup of soybeans a day during the grueling Trout Mask replica rehearsal period, and subjected to physical intimidation following mistakes. His perfectionism left some with bloody fingers from heavy gauge strings and severe emotional breakdowns. Drummer John French documented the conditions in his 2010 memoir, Beefheart, Through the Eyes of Magic, describing an environment that bordered on psychological warfare. Despite the chaos behind the scenes, Beefheart appeared on David Letterman's late-night program in August 1982 and performed on television throughout his career. His uncompromising vision influenced artists like Tom Waits and the White Stripes, cementing his legacy as one of rock's most demanding and unconventional figures. Number 8. Alice Cooper. Their 1973 United States tour shattered box office records previously held by the Rolling Stones while elevating rock theatrics to new levels of spectacle. The multi-level stage included guillotines, decapitated dolls, and elaborate theatrical props that redefined what a rock show could be. Manager Shep Gordon spotted their potential after a disastrous 1968 gig at the Cheetah Club in Venice, California, where most of the audience walked out after just 10 minutes. Gordon arranged an audition with Frank Zappa, who signed them to his Straight Records label for their deliberately bizarre energy. The band's shock rock style later inspired groups like Motley Crue and Twisted Sister, ensuring their theatrical blueprint outlived the decade that created it. Number 7. Parliament Funkadelic. George Clinton once explained his vision by noting that he wanted to place black musicians in situations nobody expected, including outer space. The 1975 platinum-selling album Mothership Connection launched the P-Funk Earth Tour, and the Mothership prop made its very first descent on October 26, 1976 at the Municipal Auditorium in New Orleans. One of the tour's most legendary nights followed on Halloween at the Houston Summit, where Clinton emerged as Dr. Funkenstein before a baying crowd amid smoke, lights, and pyrotechnics. These elaborate productions ran for nearly 2 years across the United States and redefined what a stadium concert could be. The band's theatrical approach influenced later acts like Outkast and the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
What's happening, y'all? Y'all ready to turn the fuck out? Hey, go park my scene.
Number 6. The Tubes.
Myself, well, I get enough rope. Can't clean up. No, I know I should.
Before changing musical trends and label decisions pushed them aside, The Tubes dominated the 1970s with some of America's most outrageous live shows. Frontman Fee Waybill transformed into his alter ego Key Lude, complete with sky-high platform boots, a massive fright wig, and a skimpy foil outfit that parodied glam excess. Their performances featured bare flesh, giant cigarette costumes, and biting social commentary delivered through art rock. Promoter Bill Graham regularly booked them at his San Francisco venues whenever a truly weird act came to town. They positioned themselves as more deviant than Alice Cooper, influencing theatrical rockers like the Scissor Sisters and generations of performance artists who followed. Before we continue, which of these 1970s bands left the biggest impression on you? Did you catch any of these wild performances on television back in the day? Drop a comment below and let us know where in the world you are watching from.
White folks are down. White folks are down. White folks are down.
Number 5. Kiss. By the mid-1970s, Kiss had turned face paint and pyrotechnics into a defining spectacle that filled arenas worldwide. Their 1974 appearance on The Mike Douglas Show featured Gene Simmons breathing fire and performing Firehouse, leaving daytime television viewers completely stunned by the kabuki-style theatrics. The band maintained their painted personas from 1973 until 1983, creating a larger-than-life image that sold hundreds of millions of records. Their high-energy shows and superhero personas directly inspired later groups such as Motley Crue and Poison, demonstrating just how far a visual concept could carry a rock band.
Get the fire out.
Number 4. Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. Frank Zappa launched his Straight and Bizarre Records labels specifically to champion unusual talent that major labels refused to touch. His roster of deliberately strange acts included Alice Cooper, Captain Beefheart, the GTOs, and Wildman Fisher, all signed during the late 1960s and early 1970s. The Mothers of Invention delivered deliberately confrontational live shows filled with political satire, audience participation rituals, and complex compositions designed to confuse and provoke. Zappa's commitment to the bizarre helped reshape experimental rock, influencing artists including countless later avant-garde groups who recognized the commercial and artistic power of genuine weirdness. Number 3. Sparks. Their 1974 single, This Town Ain't Big Enough for Both of Us, reached number 2 on the UK charts and introduced American brothers Ron and Russell Mael to British audiences in unforgettable fashion. When the band performed on Top of the Pops that year, Ron sat motionless behind his keyboard, his unblinking stare and toothbrush mustache creating a deeply unsettling contrast to his brother's energetic dancing. The performance was so striking that John Lennon reportedly called Ringo Starr to say he had just seen a man with an Adolf Hitler mustache performing a song with a hyperactive frontman, cementing it as one of 1970s television's most genuinely bizarre moments. The band's quirky pop style later influenced acts like the Pet Shop Boys, and they eventually collaborated with Franz Ferdinand as FFS in 2015. Number 2. Devo. The members of Devo arrived on American television wearing bright yellow hazmat suits while executing jerky robotic movements. Their 1978 Saturday Night Live debut, hosted by Fred Willard on October 14th, included a deconstructed cover of Satisfaction alongside Jocko Homo, leaving millions of viewers unsure whether they were watching a real band or an elaborate comedy sketch. The group's philosophy of de-evolution, which claimed humanity was regressing rather than progressing, came across with such deadpan sincerity in interviews that it baffled journalists throughout the late 1970s. Their concept and look influenced countless new wave and alternative acts, including Nine Inch Nails and many acts that followed. Number 1. Sun Ra and his orchestra. For decades, Sun Ra claimed he originated from Saturn rather than Earth, leading his orchestra through elaborate 1970s performances filled with Egyptian pharaoh robes, space helmets, dancers, fire, and chanting. His music shifted seamlessly from swing to free jazz to pure noise within single sets, all while he maintained his cosmic philosophy with complete sincerity in every interview he gave. The 1974 film Space is the Place captured his vision of using music to relocate Black Americans to another planet entirely. His pioneering blend of jazz, theater, and science fiction left a lasting mark on experimental artists, including George Clinton, and later, figures in hip-hop and avant-garde music.